What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 102 now of the My Player Career Mode. This episode today, guys, is extremely interesting, and I urge you to stay right until the end, because today we are kickstarting our Champions League knockout rounds against no other team than our former club in Real Madrid. So I can't wait to show you. It will be the last game of today's episode, and before we get into the entire episode, I just want to say something quickly. Yesterday, as I was recording this, my Elgato footage, basically my Elgato packed in on me. So it's not working at the moment. I only had this much worth of footage on my computer ready to go. So it means that there's only going to be one video tonight, and I'm not sure if there's going to be a video tomorrow. I know for 100% certain it won't be a FIFA video tomorrow. It may be a Football Manager video if I get around to recording it. Yeah, but the only issue is my Elgato's not working, so I've had to order a new one. It should be arriving, they said, on Tuesday. I paid extra, of course, to be able to make sure that I get it in, because I don't want to have a situation where I'm behind on videos and stuff. But because I won't be around much, it means that, of course, I'm going to have to kind of get videos out when I come back from my job. So, in which case, it's going to be pretty much one video on Wednesday and then probably one video on the Thursday until I can get back up to speed and get back on top of things. So, yeah, I apologize in advance, but unfortunately, guys, it's one of them circumstances where you just cannot, you can't predict it, really. And to be honest, I have had the Elgato a very long time. I've had it for probably about 5 or so years now, and it's not packed in yet. So it's not surprising that after 5 years of use, or if you will, kind of that kind of stage, that it has decided to not work at this stage now. So it is unfortunate, but I'd say I got my £100 worth out of it for 5 years, as I mentioned. Pretty damn decent, if I do say so. So yeah, it just means, as I say, that we're not getting a new one until Tuesday, so the video on tomorrow will not be available unless it's a Football Manager video. And I know some of you guys don't enjoy that series, in which case, for you guys, there's probably not going to be a video tomorrow that you guys are going to be watching. So yeah, I apologise, but that's the way it is sometimes with the whole part of the equipment. That's the beauty of technology. When it's working, it's brilliant. When it's not, it's very, very useless. And I suppose that's why it doesn't work. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, getting back to the episode then. We've been this game here against Blackburn, FA Cup. If you remember, we played an FA Cup game last episode as well, where we ended up beating Barnet by 5-1. We picked up a hat-trick in that one. So this additional goal here makes it 4 goals now in the FA Cup run that we are currently on, as we do, in fact, take on Blackburn Rovers at Old Trafford for this one, and we opened up the scoring inside the first 30 minutes of the game. Into the second half now, as we got another chance for ourselves. This one's really, really strange. The ball comes through to me. I tried to whip in a shot, and I wasn't expecting to even get the shot away, let alone get it close to the goal. I was expecting that to hit Rose Ed, but regardless, we did get it, and it was just over the top of the crossbar. But we did get a vital chance here to make it 2-0. And yeah, the less said about the goalkeeping in that one, the better, because I have no words for what on earth the Blackburn goalkeeper tried to do there. I did see him coming towards me. I was like, I'm going to dink it over the top of him. The dink worked out, but he could have saved it. You'll see from this angle, it's not really as good a chip as I was hoping it was going to be. A nice ball through. I got into this position. I was going to right, he's coming out. I'm dinking him. Before I could even change my decision after I realised he stepped backwards, I had no other option than to keep with it. It went over the top of him, but then just take a look at it from this angle. He's running towards it. And for me, as a goalkeeper, he has to save that. No idea what on earth he's attempting to do there. It's not come at him with much pace. Just get 2 hands on it, catch the ball. You're in a good stand. But for some reason, he decided against that, decided to go with 1 hand, and I have no idea why on earth he let it go in the back of the net. But regardless, 2-0 up in this one inside 53 minutes, and it was a really, really good cup game for us. 2 goals. Now, into the 90th minute we went, as we did get a chance potentially to add a third to it and get a hat-trick. Ball over the top. It came to me. Wharton is there. I brought it down, and I'm very, very long way out here. And once again, it's strange. It's a strange episode so far, because again, what on earth is the keeper doing? I understand it kind of went past him at some pace in the original bit, but then it slows down a hell of a lot before it reaches the actual goal line. So could he have got back and stopped this going in the back of the net instead of standing there like an absolute lemon? Or did he not stand a chance? Let me know in the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I personally would say that he probably could have got back to that and stopped that going in the back of the net. But I'm glad he didn't, because it means we're taking the match ball with us from this game at Old Trafford here. But it's really strange, because that's 2 goals now that the goalkeeper's at fault for. And in both of them, in my opinion, he should be saving them both. So I have to say, I'm stumped as to what on earth he was thinking there, the keeper. Stumped as to the decisions he made in this game. But in the end, it kind of works out for me in my favour, because it does mean I'm taking the match ball home from this one. Mourinho shaking the Blackburn Rovers manager's hand there, and you can see the rest of the boys. We played a very, very strong side for this, actually, against Blackburn, which is credit to them, because it's made sure we didn't disrespect them in any way, shape or form. We made sure we were playing a good side, and one that could have got the result for us, and it did just that as well. 3 goals for me, 3 goals in total for the team. Match ball coming back with us, a good cup tie there. So we move forward in the FA Cup, after last episode against Barnet. Now we add Blackburn to the list of teams that we've beaten this year. And I can confirm, guys, the next game is against Port Vale, which I was going to show you later on in today's episode. We weren't picked for it. It was a sim game. But, unfortunately, my Elgato packed out halfway through that sim game. So it only picks up the first half of that sim game. But I can confirm we did actually go on to lose that by a 1-0. We ended up getting knocked out by Port Vale. As I said, you don't see it in this episode because, unfortunately, I didn't quite catch it, but I had to save the episode. So, yeah, we lost 1-0 against Port Vale, and from the next episode, if I remember, I'll show you it in the calendar, just to show you guys that we did, in fact, lose the game. So, we're unfortunately out of the FA Cup, but we did get a few goals in there as well that adds to my goal tally in all competitions this season for Manchester United, which isn't too bad, let's face it. As we moved into the next game then against West Ham, once again at Old Trafford here, this is going to be an interesting one. We are top of the table at the moment, so we're looking to pick up as many points as we possibly can to make sure that we keep that lead. Because if you remember, I said I wanted to win a Premier League, we almost did it at City. United, the team that we are going to do it with. You can see as well, Newcastle United are the team sat in second place, which coincidentally, we've got them after this game against West Ham United here. So this one was going to be tough. It was going to be a very close game. He showed you there something has got to give, which it certainly has because, you know, our home record's good, their away record's pretty good. So I would say right now that this is going to be a 0-0 draw or at least a 1-1 draw. It's not going to be a high-scoring game, this one against West Ham. So we were in for a very tough affair today, but I still felt confident. I felt confident in the boys. I felt confident in myself to be able to grab the goal as well. That is the team that West Ham do, in fact, have on this one here. Some interesting players in there. Thorgan Hazard, of course, on the bench. We've known him from that screamer he scored against us in the international game when we played against Belgium at the Confed Cup, I think it was, where he scored an absolute worldie against us. But he's on the bench today for West Ham. Cannot make their first 11, so that is good to see, as we did get ready for this game against West Ham here. And it took 76 minutes for the first chance, actually. It was a very close game, as I said. I was expecting it to be that way. Picked up the ball here on the edge of the area, drove into the middle, and a moment of madness from the West Ham United defender. He ends up making a silly, silly decision, picks up a yellow card, and not only that, gives us the chance from the spot to make it Manchester United 1, West Ham United 0 here in a game that we would need to win, in my opinion. I think we need to get 3 points from this one to really shore our position at the top. And you guessed it, guys, it would be us from the spot taking this one. I went to the right-hand side of the goal, keeper went left, and we gave United the lead at Old Trafford with 10 or so minutes left on the clock. Ran over to try and celebrate with my manager, but unfortunately it didn't let me. I ended up having to just celebrate in the middle of the pitch, lie down, and then just enjoy it as somebody else jumps on top of me. But yeah, it was a really good penalty. You know, you've seen my penalties in the past and how I've done in this game in this year's FIFA. I have been shocking at them. So to step up in a 0-0 game, needing to score to win the game potentially in this one, I was pretty happy with that penalty. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So yeah, decent penalty, decent way to grab our first goal of this Premier League game here. And also, it meant that now West Ham United would have to try and come forward a little bit. They stayed very defensive for the game, so I was hoping for 1 or 2 more chances before the end of it. Unfortunately, though, guys, we didn't get any of them. But we did pick up the 1-0 win, so that's what we were here to do. And we did the job at hand and managed to get the victory. As Slaven Bilic and Jose Mourinho decide to shake hands on the sideline there. And that's one pet hate I've got about FIFA, is that when your managers, or when managers in the game are doing badly and they would have been sacked in real life, they don't get sacked in FIFA, and it's something that really gets on my nerves, and that's something that I really want in next year's or so game. So, yeah, it just frustrates me, because why on earth would you not have managers getting sacked in the game? It just doesn't make sense. So, it's frustrating, but yeah, we'll see anyways, guys. Maybe they'll implement it into next year's game. Maybe they'll implement that and a few other stuff that I find as pet peeves in this year's game into the next one. Although I doubt it, because as I've said before, the moneymaker is, of course, Ultimate Team, so that's where they spend most of their time and effort on. However, we've been attacked in the media again. I'm sick and tired of being attacked in the media when my goal scoring record's decent. I don't know if it's because we have a massive price tag or something like that, but it really does feel frustrating when you're still doing alright for a team and yet we're getting attacked as these unimpressive our performances. If you're really that unimpressed, just drop me and I'll move out of the club. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Mourinho attacking me in the media, much like Zidane did back at Real Madrid. Not too happy with that one, so it gave me a chance to show them both, because we're playing against Real Madrid next, actually. We're going to the Santiago Bernabeu after this game here, and it gave me a chance to show Mourinho and Zidane what on earth they were basically chatting absolute rubbish about. So I was hoping to do that, but until then, guys, we've got a second place game, first versus second here. Newcastle taking on Manchester United, and we are over in Newcastle for this one here. Zuma making his debut after a £53 million move over to United, and that does, in fact, get rid of Semedo out of the team. So it means we now have Zuma And I do believe either, is it Chris Smalling or Eric Bailly is the other one who's playing alongside him. I think it's Bailly for this game here, but I'm not 100% sure because I know Smalling is still in the side. So in that case, either of them would do a good job here. It is Eric Bailly. There you go. So it is a number 3 who does line up alongside the new signing in Kurt Zouma for this one here. Very tough affair, this one, though, because, as I said, first versus second is not always easy. And 30 minutes onto the clock, we got a first chance of the game. Nice play. Ball coming back through from my teammate there. I took a right-footed strike very early on, but a decent stop in between the sticks from the Newcastle man denied us the opening goal. And 52 minutes into it, Adam Armstrong for Newcastle now running through, cuts it back, gets it off to his teammate who strikes one goalwards, and this time it comes off the woodwork in the same goal that we had our first effort in the first half. However, this game ended up being a 0-0 ball draw, 90 minutes on the clock. Nothing could happen for either team in this one, so we did only pick up a point here, but it's still a point gain and not really any loss, because what it does mean is we keep the same points that we were on originally once we came into this game over Newcastle. So instead of losing points, we basically stayed the same and we're already a fair few ahead. So it doesn't really matter 100%, but it would have been nice to pick up another 3 there and move 3 points away from Newcastle. But sometimes you can't get everything you want. And I did, I'm going to be honest with you, have one eye on this game against Real Madrid here. I was thinking to myself, you know what? I'm not interested in any other game apart from this one. The Santiago Bernabeu. Do you know what's going to be interesting about this, though, guys? We're going back to Spain, right? If I score, do I celebrate or do I kind of show respect? Because, yeah, you know, the fans and stuff and all that kind of stuff at the club. I won a lot of trophies there. I won the Copa de España, you know, the Champions League, and we won the Liga. But the manager himself attacked me. So I was in two minds as to whether or not to show respect or celebrate. If you remember earlier on in an earlier episode, guys, we played Manchester City in the Premier League. I scored in that one, and I scored the winning goal in that one, and I showed respect. I didn't celebrate during that. So if I score against Real Madrid, the team that we've directly left from to come over to Manchester United, do I go ahead and celebrate, or do I show respect? That is the question. I think I've also scored against Bayern Munich in the past, and I think I celebrated in those games as well. So in that respect, I've only ever shown respect, I do believe, to Manchester City. I think I've even scored and celebrated against Valencia. So yeah, I don't know why I've shown respect to City. I think it was because I played for their direct rivals in Manchester United. But we'll see anyways, guys, because it may happen that we don't even score a goal in this game at the Santiago Bernabeu. A very strong side, actually. I was slightly disappointed in the right-hand side of it, though. You know, Varela at right-back, not really the greatest right-back we've got available to us here at Manchester United. Their team, of course, is still very strong. And one thing to note, they still have Anthony Martial in the side, even though he was transfer listed for a time. But 24 minutes in, I had to show my class. I had to do it, guys. Edge of the area, right-footed strike. You know it. 25 minutes on the clock. It just had to be. It was written in the script. So I ran over to the camera, beat my chest to say, this is what you're missing, man. This is what you're missing. I know I've probably made a fair few enemies from the Real Madrid camp and stuff, you know, but at the end of the day, Zidane attacked me. Everybody attacked me in terms of my my club. So I felt as though scoring against them, this was bittersweet. And also I wanted to show Mourinho just what he was missing. If you remember as well, Mourinho's former club is actually Real Madrid in that respect. And of course Chelsea. But he was at Real Madrid for a time. So this is big for him as well. So I beat my chest to say thank you very much with a worldie to kickstart this game here. 26 minutes on the clock. Remember, this is quite possibly one of the biggest Champions League games that we're going to have here at United. Because Real Madrid are the holders. If we knock them out in the first round of the knockout rounds, how big would that be for our, personal confidence, the team's confidence, Manchester United as a whole? So we've still got a lot of work to go, but it's looking pretty good at the moment. As 60 minutes in, nice ball out wide. Brandt here gets it on the right, whips in across, and in the end is, I think it's Morata on the end of this one. The man who has, I guess, replaced me at Real Madrid, even though he's already at the club, but he comes straight in for me here. And it was Morata who got them back on level terms 61 minutes in. A really good header, actually. And I have to give credit where credit's due. He rose highest in a very packed penalty area. 3 men around him. And somehow he came out on top. So I'm a bit disappointed. But at the same time, it's football. It happens. And there you go, guys. 1-1. And 81 minutes into the game, Real Madrid really pushed to try and get themselves a second. The one thing that annoyed me about this one, though, guys, was that Mourinho actually went to all-out attack. At the Santiago Bernabeu, with 5 minutes to go, where we got the away goal, and it was 1-1, he decided to go to all-out attack. I don't know what on earth was going through his brain here, as Real Madrid had a really good opportunity, not once, not twice, but 3 times to take the second goal from this one and potentially get the win. It could have ended in a disaster for us, so I'm just 100% happy that we didn't give away anything, and that the all-out attack from Mourinho didn't come back to bite us, because that could have been an absolutely shocking decision. But regardless, we came away with a 1-1 draw there from the Santiago Bernabeu. I was on the score sheet. I celebrated. I said I wasn't sure if I was going to or not. And at the time, it just kind of instinct took over and I started celebrating against them. I was so used to doing it, I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'll celebrate against them. Santiago Bernabeu, on our return, we scored an absolute worldie. And we do have the away goal for the next leg, which will be coming up very, very soon on the channel once my, of course, new Elgato arrives. But regardless, guys, that's going to be it for this episode. If you've enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like rating. As always, guys, thank you for your continued support. And I will see you all with another video very, very soon. Stay tuned on the channel. Do not miss it. Adios.